Hey everybody, since Fraser was having a little bit of trouble, I'm going to try and start one. Let's see what see what Facebook shenanigans has for us tonight. Let's see. Okay, make the screen a little brighter. My screen's brighter. Uh, so Fraser, I'm on. Whenever you're ready, let me know. I'm going to be on the wrong side. No, I don't care. No. Okay, so Fraser Willie Mills is watching. Yay. I was going to add him now. Okay, so if you had to send a request, it's not letting me. Oh, invite. Okay, wait, I invited you. Beautiful. Hi, Frank. Okay. Add. Approve. Add. Alright. Hi, Fraser. So let's see what happened. I see you watching. And it says, doesn't say a damn thing. Oh, damn it. Let's try again. Approve. Okay, that was. I got the Yeti screen on. Yay! Alright. Fraser's liking it. Alright, let's see if we can add him. Adding and declined! Why did you decline? I'm gonna try adding you again. Don't decline me! I feel rejected. I'm gonna go in the corner and cry now. There he is!
It worked.
Okay.
Yes.
Why did
Weird.
you decline?
Did I decline? I was trying to
Yeah,
hit thumbs up like a
rejected.
million times. I might.
Yeah, I saw that. That I saw.
It must. But I was just hammering on the thumbs up. The decline must have come up right in front of the thumbs up. That would be weird.
Yeah, I had to re-add you.
Because then it came up a minute later. I didn't mean to decline. I was trying to do super thumbs up.
Yeah, I feel a little rejected now.
So
I want to go in the corner and cry.
I I I asked you to come on like 4 times, and you just.
I know, I
Well, I don't know
saw,
what's
and I
going
watched
on.
the whole
I thought they
video.
fixed the bugs.
Well, apparently on
Yeah,
your end they're not
so
fixed. My
silly.
end is working okay. Oy
That's fine.
vey,
You start them up.
yeah, it's always an ordeal. Why? Facebook, get your act together.
You have to. Anyways, at least you get over that. You've got to get over that first anger. It's like, wait, we actually had something. What were we going to talk? Anyways, yeah, yeah. But every
I'm
time,
not,
like,
I'm not
every
actually angry. I'm
time.
just like, I guess get disappointed and then I get frustrated. Not angry, just
Oh,
frustration. Pain in the
yeah.
neck. So how you doing?
I put it.
How's the party?
I put one. Oh, well. I put one up. One of the little videos, and it was one day when we were having just technical difficulties, one after another. And
Mm.
right at the end, I put my little title was WTF. Why trust Facebook? Except instead of Facebook, I
Yeah.
put F like asterisk, asterisk, asterisk book. Because it was just like 6 videos. All I did was mash them together. And like, you guys are sack. Hey. Anyways, so
Technical, the
this
technical
is just
difficulties of Facebook.
one time. That was okay. Oh man, I could, yeah. So,
Oh,
but I saw a few of the messages. So you had a good back and forth. You had a good.
yeah, that was good.
Anyways, I don't know
That
how
was
to
good.
talk about it, but yeah, yeah.
Hold on to that girl. If anybody doesn't
You were
know,
explaining a certain.
well, if anybody doesn't know, I know you know. I met, not met, but we met on Facebook. It's actually it was I think 2 years ago, maybe a little maybe a little less. It would be part of a Facebook group
Oh
supporting
yeah.
Trump for president. So she's a Trump supporter. A big plus in my book so far. Um, so I met her in the group. So I met
Get
her in
to
the
Alberta.
group.
It's a good
We
place.
talked.
Yeah.
Wasn't really interested. She's a pretty girl, fine. Talked on and off. But then she wanted to confide in me for a little bit about something. Not giving any names, obviously. So she wanted to confide in me without giving any details. I talked to her on Facebook Messenger, and she tells me that I brought her through a very trying time in her life. Just talking to her on Facebook Messenger.
Hmm.
So that was really nice. That was kind of touching. And I don't know if you know, I have some
Mhm.
self-confidence issues too. um, and what I've been through, and then she puts up this beautiful picture of herself. I mean, she's like she has a professional photographer follow her. She's so beautiful, and look at me, right? You see her face? I showed you. She's like a 10 out of 10 for me, anyway. But the problem is she's 19 years old. But anyway,
And then when
yeah,
she's
that's the problem.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
But but then she says
yeah,
nice things about you. It was like it was a nice.
yeah, I
Yeah.
know. I know she thinks very highly of me, and it was just because of a post
Mhm.
that she posted a picture, and and I said like you're a 10, but I do know her personality. I've talked to her, so I know her. I just don't like her because she's physically attractive.
Mhm.
I like her because I'm attracted to her mentally also. Very hard to do for a 45-year-old man to be attracted to a girl that young.
Oh.
Let me tell you, because it's like, oh, you're a kid, just want, So it's this is difficult for me to process. So I told her that she's a 10. I said to myself like I'm a 3 at my best, and then she gives me, and I told her I know my worth, and she gives me this whole thing, 10 reasons why I'm such a
Oh
good
my
person,
God.
and it blew me away. This was all Sunday, and Sunday I'm walking out, head a
Yeah.
little higher, a little bit of a smile on my face because someone thinks that highly of me. And I know you and Sean do, but you don't count. you
Mhm.
know, as far as mating
No,
is
I know.
concerned, you
No,
guys
no,
don't
no.
count.
Not when it comes to that thing.
When you
Like if
get
you get some when you get a feedback like that, I know what you mean. That
right,
counts for like 1,000 just kind of like family members saying, "Yeah, yeah, you're a good guy."
right,
My mom
yeah,
says I'm cool. That kind of thing, right?
exactly,
But no,
right,
no, that was,
exactly.
you know. But no, no, I
Yeah,
know what you
well,
mean though. Like, but
yeah,
no, no. When you talk about her, but like that, it was going on. Like, first of all, you met on like a political level, and then going this back and forth, and it's not
right.
just like wishy-washy sort of stuff. Like, she's not like a dummy. She
No,
doesn't
this
seem
was
like
deep
she's,
stuff we were
you
connecting
know,
on.
as
This
frivolous
wasn't
as the other
bubblegum pop
things,
stuff that we were. Yeah,
So, age
yeah.
is,
This is
but
deep.
no, definitely because you've met at a distance, it's definitely that intellectual connection first, obviously, before any physical thing. So, no, no, no. I mean, geez,
Right.
don't think about. I know why you think about the age thing, but it sounds like you've made some sort of connection beyond that, anyways. Mm.
Yeah, I know. Well, she lives in Alberta. Then what am I gonna do? She stays here for a couple of days. She sees me. What am I gonna do? Take her away from her parents and family in Alberta? I can't do that to her. So the plan is to
She
meet.
might like the
She
big
wants to come
city.
to
You
New
never
York.
know.
She wants to meet me. I don't know, but Gately, I wouldn't let her leave her family. But plan is to come to New York. She wants to pay for dinner for me and my brother. Take me out. It's nice to know that someone wants to take me out, something like that. I never asked her. I never said I wanted. I said I'll cook for you. You meet my dog. You meet my brother. I'll cook for you.
Oh, I
I
was
can make it nice for
joking.
you.
I
Believe
said
me when
about
I
the
tell you.
restaurant. I said
No, but she
you
did
will
say
too.
it.
Yeah,
She
you'll do
actually
that as
did.
well.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So,
Well, a
and
couple
I got,
days, that's like 6 meals or something, right?
I don't know. Well, she's got to go sightseeing too. I wouldn't take her away from that. Who wants to spend their all? Who wants to spend
You
their
have
all
to
their
show her
time
she
as a
needs a
teenager?
guide and stuff, and someone with a
She get
car.
plenty, guys. She get plenty. She get plenty of guys. Oh, speaking of which, Sunday night, 5 people were sightseeing in a helicopter and it crashed, and all 5 people were killed. I wouldn't. I wouldn't
In New
want to ride in a
York?
helicopter. Wait, nothing in New York, yeah. Crashed in the Hudson or the East River, I'm not quite sure.
How would they be?
So like she wants
Oh,
to go she
man.
needs to go sightseeing, but I'm not gonna take away from that. But she's 19 years old. How much in common could I possibly have with a 19-year-old girl from Alberta? It's
Apparently, there's quite a few
25
things.
years.
And just, it's those random connections too. It's not like you can't just like put two people aside. It's those moments, like you say, somehow, and for like, you don't even know why, but it was like the moment, it was that night when she was all alone, and for whatever reason, you were free and you just kind of texting, like you didn't think maybe much of it. It's like, hey,
I'm always
talk to
free.
this Trump supporter. But then that happened to be
Yeah,
the ideal moment for her for whatever reason. I don't understand it. I didn't know that side of the story, but you know what I mean? So it's
yeah.
not just like, oh, we'll line up two people's Facebook profiles. It's more like, these little things that come along. And we do have like, hey, she's 19. Come on now. She's an adult. And if she wants to move to New York, I mean, I moved to Montreal and it was like the silliest thing ever to do, but it was the best thing I ever did,
Yeah.
like And no one can make that decision. Like you say, you don't want to take. You wouldn't say, "Hey, come and move out here for me." But hey,
She's
you
in
know,
college.
all you gotta do is say
First,
hi.
plus she's in college. She wants to be a dermatologist, so she's got a long road ahead of her for school. And I don't think it's gonna work. I don't think she's gonna like me that much. So, and I always wish her the best, but yeah, I don't.
You just said. I just saw 10 things. It was like 10 paragraphs. It wasn't like a
No,
sentence. It was like
she
a
wrote a
paragraph and a
ton.
paragraph.
I hope she wasn't typing, because my phone has talk to text. I use that quite
Oh my God.
frequently because it's easier. So talking to text is
Yeah.
better. And you have to say period, you have to say
So
question
is a
mark, you
lot.
have to say exclamation point at the end of a sentence. So, um,
But I know what
yeah,
you mean. That's really
yeah, it
useful
is.
though. But yeah,
So I
other
mean,
than that, it's tickety
right.
tickety.
And we had, oh God, right, she's 19 years old. We had, when the advent of cell phones came out, the T5 texting, remember? If you wanted that S, you had to hit 7 4 times.
Oh yeah. I remember
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
So I'm happy I have a full keyboard.
I'm actually getting really good with the thumbs though. I have pretty like, well, they're not bad, but
Yeah.
they really used to mash the keys, and for what reason? And now with the like the
Yeah.
autocorrect, I can get pretty close. Like you get one letter missing, it's okay. It'll correct it for you. I'm getting pretty good with it.
Yeah,
So said I can punch out a pretty
I
good
can
email,
type.
but
I can type more.
I know what you mean. Like the things
I
that
can
you,
type
yeah.
a regular keyboard. I took it in high school. And talking to people online, I taught myself how to get pretty fast. I found myself looking at the screen typing. I never did that before, so I can find landmarks on the
Oh yeah,
keyboard. But again, she's
yeah.
19 years old. She's got some good taste in music, though. She was putting on like Toto, "Rains in Africa." Remember that song? Now it's going back to the 80s now. Remember Toto? I found the rains down in
Maybe.
Africa.
Oh, maybe that would have been in once those. What are those music mix?
That was like,
Oh
oh
shoot,
God, there was a music video on
there was
MTV,
like
like when
a.
MTV had music.
Oh, there was these music mix CDs.
Oh,
No, it was a certain
yeah,
CD.
I remember what you're talking about. Yeah, they had like
Fart.
15 or 20, yeah,
You know,
a CD, right? They had 15 or 20
yeah,
songs on a CD.
not much music. Yeah, it was all these songs on the CD, and I think that's where I heard that one.
Yeah, well, you're younger than me
All the
too, so
time.
yeah.
Anyways, whatever it was.
Well, you're younger than me too, so I know a little more
But
about
how
it.
about Three Doors
Yeah,
Down? Is she
I
into
don't
Three
know.
Doors
You want
Down
to
though?
show her?
That's a deal breaker. That's a
No,
deal breaker. No.
Metallica. She has to be into Metallica.
Oh, Metallica.
That's my
Yeah.
favorite band of all time.
I saw Metallica in Edmonton. I went up with some buddies. We saw a show in Edmonton. Metallica. It was amazing. We were like right up at the gate, just getting smushed up against the
Oh
wall.
man,
And people are nuts in a
yeah.
Metallica concert. It was amazing. And they put up like these fire columns, and we're so close that it was hot. Like, it was, like we're just getting
Oh, I remember
baked by these
James.
things. I couldn't imagine what they lived through. Like we were that close on this side, they
I'll
were that
tell
close
you.
on the other side, like
No,
all the time. There's like just a fire in front of you.
James Hetfield
Crazy.
missed a step. His handler on stage told him to move one direction. He moved in another, and the pyrotechnics went off, and he burned most of his
Whoops.
arm. That he couldn't play songs for a long time. He couldn't play the guitar. He got burned pretty bad. It was a magnesium torch. They burned at like 3,000 degrees, and he just got like hit. Yeah, it's
Oh
only for like a second, but it was enough to take skin off
gosh.
his arm. Oh, yeah, he got hurt pretty bad.
Yeah, they are playing like I can imagine it. I can just imagine it. You have to have really good stage
Yeah,
direction to
really.
be able to do that.
They put
Yeah,
on from what I hear, they put on a good show.
that's right. A great show, right? Like there was a good opener, and the opener just kills it. Like they've obviously got energy, but these guys, and I understand it afterwards. It's like they'll do 20 minutes and then take a little break
Yeah,
and then do 20 minutes, like the Metallica, because that would just be like endurance, right?
yeah.
You're just
Oh
killing
God,
it for,
years and
you
years
know.
ago, Metallica was touring with Guns N' Roses. I don't know if you know who Guns N' Roses are. Axl Rose. Yeah, the
Yeah.
one the most troubled band in history. Uh, just between shows, they took 2 hours to set the stage. So Metallica would Guns N' Roses would open up. I think Metallica opened up. They played first. Then Guns N' Roses would come
Oh,
on, but they took 2 hours in between to set up the stage. And Axl Rose being a prima donna,
that
yeah, Axl
sucks.
Rose is a prima donna. He walked off stage a couple of times because people were complaining. Uh, I mean, people paid hundreds of dollars for a concert like
It
that. And
sucks
yeah,
to go to a show. I would hate to go to a show like that.
I would
Oh,
have
that's
loved to see
so
them both
shitty.
because they're both
Oh man.
they're both some of my favorite bands. But having them together, when one
But
band is
yeah.
professional like Metallica, and then you got a band like Guns N' Roses with the prima donna head singer, and all the rest of them just want to play music, um, it's not going to really
Yeah.
work out. That's why they ended up failing. Guns N' Roses split up a long time ago.
Oh, yeah, you can't, that would be frustrating for the band that wants to play anyways, or like the band members, I mean,
Yeah,
that want to
right.
play. I can understand that would cause, like, we're out there to play. Hell, you're complaining because one idiot yelled at you? Like, God, we're in front of like
Yeah, and they
20,000.
played big stadiums too. Yeah.
Put some earplay. Yeah, yeah, no, that's,
She also
anyways,
has to.
yeah,
She
to
also
be
has to like
famous, eh?
Queen. Queen's a must. Freddie Mercury is the bomb. Don't tell me different.
Oh man,
Uh,
that guy. I remember when I first started watching, I saw some live videos of like, man, that guy is butt
oh,
ugly.
Mercury?
How can he sing so good? He's got like
Yeah.
this,
He had a.
not butt ugly. I mean, he's got this like wicked
He
overbite,
had.
which is like maybe that's how he
You know,
sings
most
so
people have
good.
32 teeth.
Like you couldn't have like a singer like that now,
You know
right?
how most
Hmm?
people have 32 teeth? Freddie Mercury had 34 in his upper jaw. That's why he had such a bad overbite.
And just weird. That's like the extra dimension stuff. It's like if you have an extra teeth, he's got
Yeah,
it's
right.
like one extra element towards another. He's got
They're
26
revolving. uh, but he died what,
evolving and evolving.
1992, I think. 40 something years old.
I don't know. Yeah, young
Yeah,
too, eh? Yeah. No, kind of the vertebrate.
yeah.
Anyways, gonna get it while hey, maybe that's it. It's a sign because you want a family. So if you go with like a 45-year-old woman, you're not gonna get a
Probably
family,
not.
right?
Or maybe she'll have kids already, and I'd be a stepfather or something.
But maybe if you start
Yeah, 19.
the other end
Yeah.
of the spectrum, as it were.
Well, how old? She's 19 years old.
Sorry, I keep getting buggy.
How long? How long has she got in medical school? What, 6 years in medical school? You think for a
That's it.
dermatologist? I think.
So you like,
No, I
yeah,
think it's 8 years to get your doctorate. At least in America, I think it's 8 years for a doctorate. So she's got 8 years of school. Oh, by the way, what's the legal drinking
yeah.
age in Canada?
Depends. It like goes province by province, 18 or
18.
19.
Okay, it's 21.
It's almost like it's almost all the way across. It's like BC, it's 19. Alberta, it's 18. Saskatchewan, it's 19. So there's like these border towns.
All right. So,
Quebec and Ontario, it's the same thing, where Quebec is 18, Ontario is 19. So in Ottawa, where you've got like two cities basically, the Quebec
right,
side, it's Hull, and the Ottawa side is Ottawa. And all the students, when you're 18, you go to
right.
university, right? You have to walk over the bridge and you can go to the bar for a whole
Yeah, that's
year
the
early.
problem too. The legal drinking age in America is 21 now.
Oh, we get a lot of Americans in Montreal. Apparently, it's only a couple hours from the
Yeah, you
border.
go to Montreal, drink, drive back home. Oh man, yeah.
I don't know. They do some crazy things there, the Americans. They come up to Montreal expecting something
Hey, if you're right there,
different.
you border town, why not?
No, we're always happy.
Oh, if you're
That's
a
it.
border town, people go.
That's it. That's it.
Damn borders, got to build those walls, keep the Canadians out.
That's right. There was this big thing when Trump was about to get out. Did you hear about this? Maybe you heard about this because it was big news up here. It was like this, in the East, where like in the Maritimes, they want to get like more people. They're having problems with like the outflow of the
Right.
population. The fishing industry dived, and they're bringing people back in. Then Trump's getting elected. Someone bring up this like campaign says like for Americans that don't want to live in America, come on over
Really?
here, because there was certain people that didn't want to live there if one or the other got elected actually,
Oh,
like there's going to be a bunch of
well, if
Americans that
Hillary
just
got
don't want that
elected,
anymore. It's more likely the Hillary supporters would want to come to
if
Canada
Hillary
if
got
the other one
elected, you would
won
have had
than the other way
150
around,
million
but
Americans moving to Canada. Trust me on that.
and the thing was it was like come on over. But it was kind of a funny campaign, right? It was like, come on
Believe me, I
over.
would move to Canada too.
So,
Canada's
anyways,
population would have tripled overnight.
But you'd think the same thing of Trump from the other side,
They
right?
oh
But we didn't end up
they
having a big wave
yeah,
of
Rosie, you're
like
dumb. Yeah,
liberals
liberals
either.
are the
So,
worst. They always lie about something. They never keep their promises. They promised to leave. We were so happy. Get the hell out.
but I thought they were going
Get
to come
out. We
over
don't
here.
want you.
We would
Canada's
have.
liberal. Go. Yeah.
It would have been the same
Yeah.
mentality, right? They're already
Go live with
liberals,
Justin Trudeau.
and then the United States they can go
Go live with
their other
Trudeau.
way.
We don't like you.
Didn't happen,
Trudeau. They would love Trudeau.
and neither did the liberals. I always said that like our prime ministers, like we had a previous one was Prime Minister Harper, and he was more conservative. But when you look at his policies and like the things that he stands by compared to even Obama, Trudeau,
Harper.
or sorry, Harper was more liberal than
Really?
Obama in terms of like in Canada, we still have a one-payer system, and Harper wasn't challenging that we would have a one-payer healthcare system, whereas Obama was like Obamacare, which is this weird kind of
Yeah.
insurance
Oh, you
thing,
have no idea.
and and other things as well, like financial markets. Financial markets. We were kind of protected against the financial crisis because of the regulations that we had in our markets that didn't allow for the kind of weird banking stuff that you
Yeah, I
guys
can go
do.
through that. Believe me.
But even after that, we didn't take those away. But Obama, like, anyways, so we were always this thing, like, even our rightmost
Oh,
righties
left.
are further
Yeah.
left than your leftmost lefties.
Yeah.
And it
There
seems
was a
like that way.
famous quote from Ronald Reagan. He said, "What the right hand doesn't no, right? The right hand doesn't know what the far right hand is doing." Reagan was great for these quotes. I loved him. I wish I had.
That's nice,
Donald
yeah.
Trump is like another Ronald Reagan.
Who is that guy in
Yogi
Yogi
Berra, yeah,
Berra? No, who is that
yeah, Yogi
baseball
Berra,
guy that had those
yeah.
beautiful,
This
beautiful
is the earliest I've
quotes?
ever been.
Oh,
I loved it. He had a great one. This is the earliest I've
oh,
ever
he
been
had some.
late. Was one.
Oh,
And he listened to this. This was great. I gotta explain this after I say it. He said, "When you come to my house, there's a fork in the road. Take it." Because it didn't matter left or right. He lived at the end of the road where it turns around. So whether you went left or right in the fork, you had to take it. So
but the stuff he said would sound so nonsensical, but it made
wait,
perfect sense. Like it
I'm
wasn't
gonna
just
bring up Yogi
random
Berra
stuff he was
quotes. Hold
saying.
on.
Like take the fork. Oh, Yogi Berra, man, that guy. I don't know how he did it though, but like fast and off the top of his head.
Yogi Berra quotes. All right, hold on. It's
Anyway,
like deja vu all over again. Hold on. When you, yeah,
that
that
was
was
his.
this. Yeah.
Oh my
If you
God.
don't know where you're going, you'll end up someplace else. Wait, you you can
Just
observe
like
a lot. Wait,
I'm
you
coming
can
to all those
observe a
ones.
lot just by watching. He reminds me a lot of my grandmother. My grandmother talked a lot like this. The future ain't what it used to
Oh,
be. No one goes there nowadays. It's too crowded.
it's
Wait,
so
no one
true.
goes. Wait,
It's so
listen to
true.
this one. No one goes there nowadays. It's too crowded. I don't know. He was golden. In theory, there's no.
Gold,
In
man.
theory, there's no difference between theory and practice. In practice, there is. Baseball is
That's so true
baseball is
too.
90,
It is so funny.
baseball is 19% mental and the other half is physical. Wait, last one. It's tough to make predictions,
That's
especially
good.
about the future.
I love that one.
That tickled me. Oh
Oh my
God!
gosh. No, I really
Wait,
like that one.
he's
Oh gosh.
50. We should go through all these.
Oh, I heard him. Sometimes he would just talk in like maybe there's videos of him or it would be too old. I like that one though. Because my whole thing, like the math thing, was about prediction models and whatnot. I did
Theory, yeah.
financial markets, the stats of insurance. But it was just that. The future prediction is
Yeah.
tough. Especially
Hey,
it
look,
was
a
like
nickel ain't worth a dime anymore.
uh
Wait. We always go to other people's funerals, otherwise they won't come to yours.
Goof. Like the same.
We made too many
Oh
wrong
no.
mistakes. Yeah, congratulations. I knew the record would stand until it was broken. Yeah. These are
Well, wow, he
these
is
are like
something
everything
else.
Captain
How did he?
Obvious would say. You ever see that commercial, Captain Obvious?
Yeah. Oh, that was good. But don't you like Captain Obvious is like a team of 20 guys
Yeah,
writing
I know.
those.
Yogi Berra
This
is
is like
it.
one guy
Oh
kind of
yeah,
like
they should have hired Yogi Berra for
just
that.
flipping things off. Oh
Yeah,
man.
this is a good one.
Imagine if he was here
Oh
today.
man,
This guy would be like
how old was he when he died?
90 years
He was
old, I think.
19. He born 1925,
90
died
years old, it said.
1915. He was 90 when he died. He would have been 93. Usually, wait. You better cut the pizza into 4 pieces because I'm not hungry enough to eat 6. It's an old joke. That's a really old joke.
Another good math one.
Oh wait, Fraser, I got a good one for you. Three. Wait, Fraser, listen to this one. I got a good joke. 3 statisticians were hunting. They find a deer. One statistician takes a shot. He misses 10 inches to the right. The other statistician takes a shot. He misses 10 inches to the left. The third statistician does a couple of calculations. Says, "We got him."
I, that's good. It's so true. It is true. Statistically speaking, that actually points out like I think that might like actually point out one of the big weaknesses of stats. Actually, is just
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Like
Yeah,
it was
right.
just
You can miss the mark and still have
it was
some
a
kind
sort
of
of
predictable
well,
outcome.
it was like the election. We go back to the
Yeah.
Trump election, like this political les sondages, the polls. They got it wrong, but they get it right another time, and it's like
I'll
more or
tell you why.
less
Because
right.
most conservatives don't take
Anyway.
polls. Democrats do. That's why.
Well, I think this was it too, like especially the bubbles that are created now, like everyone's kind of checking their own media.
Yeah.
The other ones are checking their own media, and the polls were more checking this media. Like the polls were more in line with that. So everyone, like exactly like you said, it was those things. I've heard there was one was interesting because it was like Pennsylvania. I think Pennsylvania went for Trump, right? Maybe.
Pennsylvania was
Anyways,
a
it was
swing state. Yeah.
swing. It was up there, anyways. But it was sort of like, so the non-respondents, what the pollsters do is they impute a certain
Yeah.
percentage one way or another. The United States is a nice one to deal with because it's just binary, whereas other
Yeah.
countries have
Right.
like 6 choices. So you have someone who didn't respond, and you say, well, Democrat or Republican. You can kind of flip a coin, but then you say, well, say Pennsylvania, there's women. Well, we'll say women, Trump said some things and
Yeah.
that got
Yeah.
into the news. So we're going to put women at like 70%, 30% in Pennsylvania, right? It's Northeast,
Right. So they figured
this kind
Pennsylvania
of
would be for
things.
Trump. They didn't. Oh man, they didn't want to count Michigan.
Oops, it wasn't that. It was more like 55-45. And
Right.
so that's why the pollsters were so wrong there. And it was just one of those examples of how, again, well, we get it more or less, but no. That bit in the middle, that's where the deer is.
Yeah.
You're not eating today.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Like
Right.
you missed it. We missed it somehow. We said, oh, we got it, more or less.
During the election, though,
Yeah.
the live results I had on my computer, they wouldn't count Michigan for 8 hours, even though Michigan swung to Trump. They wouldn't. They just would not count it. All right, let's go back to Yogi Berra.
They called it pretty early
Yeah.
here. Did it go late in the States? Here it was like, whoa, it was over. It was over like
We
after
know.
Florida or something. I don't know. They didn't even have to go
Let's
to the
see.
West Coast, really.
Polls end in New York about 9 p.m. So about 11 p.m., 11:30, you start getting most, like 80% of the precincts reporting. So we knew about 11:30,
Okay.
11:45, Trump was going to win. We knew. They just didn't want to.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was it here
News
too.
outlets
Before
did
midnight,
not
yeah.
want to admit it. They would just because they're biased. They didn't want to say anything. Let's get back to Yogi Berra. Wait, I'm going to put my glasses on so I can read better.
Oh, I saw a video here. It was like when he was super old. I wanted to click on it, but I want to see what he said. He was like, he's already wicked old in this one.
Oh, he died when he was 90.
Oh no, that's not okay. Wait.
Okay, here, look. I usually take a 2-hour nap from 1 to 4. Never answer an anonymous letter. Slump? I ain't no slump. I just ain't hitting. How can you think and hit at the same time? Oh, okay, you got the video.
Oops. So
It gets
weird. Sorry, I got the Yogi Berra should pop up on
it
my
gets
thing
late
here.
early out here.
I got up and I said, I want to thank
Can you
everybody
hear
for
it?
making this night necessary. So, I don't know. It just came out that way. You know, a lot of people start to say, Yogi, I don't even know I say it myself. I really don't. The best one I think, too, is that they come to the fork and go take it.
I can
We
hear.
have. I go, it's my road in Montclair.
No. Oh.
If you go to the
Okay,
fork,
sorry,
you
sorry.
go on Highland Avenue, where I live. Either one.
This is it.
I want to thank everybody
Perfect.
for making this
Yeah.
Can you
night
hear it better?
necessary. So, I don't know. It just came out that way. You know, a lot of people start to say, Yogi, I don't even know I say it myself. I really don't. The best one I think too is that when you come to the fork and we'll take it. And we have. I go, it's Mont Road in Montclair. If you go to the fort, you go on Highland Avenue where I live. Either one take you on Highland Avenue. That's how I got that. It ain't over till it's over. I did it with the Mets. They just come out. I don't know I say them.
He was actually a very smart man.
So this is what you're
He's
saying.
just the type of guy that would just talk the first thing that comes to his mind. You know, like
I
me.
don't know.
He would just say the first thing that came to mind.
Yeah.
Uh,
But then it would be gold. Like, and he didn't, it sounded like it. He sounds really authentic. He's like, I don't know. It's just the thing that made sense. I'm glad it makes sense to a billion other people too, but it was just something that made sense to
it's
him, right?
great.
That was fun.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's Italian from New York. Probably not didn't have a best education back then. So a product of his surroundings. His, not being an
Yeah.
educated,
You can
right,
hear it when you
exactly.
hear
So
him
not being a
talk.
very educated man, you say things that aren't exactly the smartest things, but and I know people that were book smart and had no common sense. I know people that had common sense and no book smarts.
Yeah.
There's different kinds of smarts. Doesn't mean just
Yeah.
because you have high IQ doesn't mean
For
you can
sure, for
apply
sure.
it to everyday living.
Amen. Yeah. No, and my brother who's like a real freaking bookworm. He's like up in the Ivory Tower University, and we were talking philosophy one time. And he says like everyone's got a philosophy, down to even the like, and he pointed it out like we grew up in like simple farming community. So it's like everyone has that philosophy. If they have like the book reading to go with it or not, that's what it is. But you look at a guy like Yogi Berra, like one of the greatest philosophers, or just a guy that could put words in a way that works for like I say, probably a billion people, maybe more. It is what it is. Like this kind
Well,
of thing, it's just so accessible to everybody.
praise.
That guy's a bigger genius, but he just didn't get into the school,
You
right? You
just
know what I
gave
mean?
me the greatest idea ever. I want to start a philosophy class, but not Socrates, not Aristotle, not Plato, Yogi Berra. The
Yogi
Yogi
Berra,
Berra
man.
philosophy class.
We
Yeah.
could do it once a day. How that Yogi Berra quote applies. That could be a thing, man. Wait, let me pull up that list. I had a
There's a
little list
finding
there again.
truth.
We could just do one. Because it's like, what does this make you think of in your
Right.
life? Because
Yeah.
it's like those Yogi Berra things. Everyone's got that. Everyone can put that into like
And this is
some
right.
situation. That's like a good start because it's
This
a
is a
good.
guy who's a common man,
Where are we
a
at
guy
now?
again, a common guy, not educated. Just talking some type of whether knew it or not. It's some kind of philosophy that you can apply to life. So
It is for
so
sure.
it's good.
Oh, some of those ones. No, but it's gold. Like you can observe just by what you can observe a lot just by
Yeah, yeah,
watching.
yeah, yeah,
Like we all try like just stop and watch,
yeah,
right? Like don't make it complicated.
yeah.
Just watch. That's all you
Some of
have to
these are
do.
great.
Or the future ain't what it used
Right.
to be. It's not what we're talking about. Like for us, the future is different than for someone who's younger than the future is, which is just no, it's really deep.
Like
It's super deep.
even Napoleon had his Watergate. I mean that's he's mixing Nixon and Napoleon.
What was the
Waterloo.
one? Because wait, Nixon had a
Nixon was
water something
Watergate.
too,
Nixon
right?
was Watergate.
Water
Napoleon was Waterloo.
or not
No,
Nixon? No, yeah, Napoleon
Nixon
Waterloo.
was
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Watergate.
That was it.
Watergate Hotel. Believe me, it's working.
Yeah, that's it. Sorry, I always get them mixed up. Water something.
Clinton had
Waterboarding.
white water.
Or
Ain't
a
worth a
nickel
dime.
ain't worth a dime anymore.
Are you
That's
on the same one I am?
because it's just like, no, it ain't worth a dime.
Are you on the same
It's
one I
way
am?
below.
USA Today.
Yeah, anyways.
I'm on USA Today. 50 greatest Yogi Berra quotes.
I don't know. Maybe I didn't even
I'm
actually
gonna
get
put it
in
in your
there. I just
messenger.
Google and then
I'm
whatever's
gonna put it
on.
in your messenger. Click on it.
Oh, okay, good. Because I think it
Yeah, it's
works,
on.
right?
Yeah, it's in your messenger.
Half the lies they don't. Half the lies they tell me. No, half the lies they tell about me are.
Half
Wait,
the
wait,
lies you
wait.
tell about.
Did
No,
you
it
say
isn't.
that one?
Wait.
Half the lies they tell about me aren't true. Half the. Anyways, ah,
We got 50 great quotes here.
but the other half of the lies they are true.
He hits from. Oh, this is great.
So great.
He hits from
Yeah.
both sides of the plate. He's amphibious. Ambidextrous.
Because it was that thing. Oh, because I'm just at that level, like the Waterloo
Yeah.
Watergate thing. It was like, I kind of get it, like the amphibian thing. You know, like it's just that close enough. It's those first syllables that I get it. No, wait, there was something wrong with that sentence.
Something quite right. Not quite right.
Oh, wait,
It's impossible to get a conversation
that's
going.
it.
Everybody was talking too much. No, I can.
No. I like the 6 pieces of pizza
Oh
one too.
yeah. I can see how Sandy Koufax, won 25 games. What I don't understand is how he lost 5. Oh boy.
Oh no. Oh, this could work really well. I think this is a good thing.
Wait a minute, here we go.
Finding
I
Yoga
don't know
Berra.
if they were men or women fans running across the field. They had bags over their heads. He didn't know if they were men or women running naked because they had bags over their heads.
They have bags.
Yeah.
It took me a minute. I'm like,
How would you know,
All
right?
right. All right, the whole rest. Yeah. How would you know? How would you know? You're looking at people in the eyes, they cover their head. How would you know?
If a woman's running naked in front of me, I'm not looking at her
Oh
head.
my
I'll
goodness.
tell you that much.
No, there's some gold.
You want to keep reading?
They had bags over their head? I didn't even notice they had
What
bags over their
bags?
head.
All right, I'm going to keep reading. You want me to keep going, Fraser? I'll keep going. I'm a lucky guy.
Yeah, no, I think I've found finally a site here, yeah.
I'm a lucky
Go
guy,
ahead.
and I'm happy to be with the Yankees. And I want to thank everyone for making this night necessary. I'm not reading ahead. I'm just laughing. I'm reacting as I'm reading. So I'm not going to buy my kids an encyclopedia. Let them walk to school like I did. I wonder how his kids are. I wonder if they can grow up normal. Yeah, in baseball, you don't know nothing. All right, that's not so funny. I never blame myself when I'm not hitting. I just blame the bat, and if it keeps up, I change bats. After all, if I know it isn't my fault that I'm not hitting, how can I get mad at myself? This is, I've done that before. If something is screwing me up, I'll change it,
Yeah.
and it'll work out. It'll work better. So it's like these inanimate
Yeah.
objects have a mind of their own sometimes.
It is, but it's also it's just more comforting. It's just like, okay, well, I've still got the good stuff under me.
Yeah. This
Let's
bat's
just,
holding me back. I'm throwing
almost do a little shock, right? That's it, right? It's just like the other side. It's like the lucky Ginch or the lucky beard or whatever it is,
God,
you know?
baseball.
It's the same kind of
Baseball
thing. It's just
players
like,
have the worst
oh my
superstitions
God.
in the world. Yeah, there
Superstition.
was a guy, I can't remember his name now. He used to he wore his old shirt under his fresh shirts every game, no matter what. Played for the Red Sox. The thing stunk to high heaven, never washed it, but he thought it was lucky.
Oh, I imagine.
Okay, number 36.
Yeah, and that's,
Yeah, right?
oh, and it was just like, imagine, but hey, if it works for him, it's like mind over matter almost, right? Whereas you switch out the bat for the exact same bat. I think I've done that with my son too. He's like, no, this was, a little ball or something. It's like, oh, here's another one. Try this one. He's like, oh, there it
Works
worked.
better, yeah.
Same damn ball, right? It's a mind over matter
Mind
thing,
over
right?
matter.
But
I
anyway.
never said most of the things I said.
No.
It ain't the heat, it's the humility.
Well, I got,
Humility. Humility. It's not the heat. It's the humility.
it's not the heat, it's the humility.
If you ask me anything I don't know, I'm not
I
going
like
to
that one.
answer. Oh, it's not so bad.
That's actually good
Yeah,
philosophy
right.
as
No, no,
well.
I'm not going to answer.
Because if you do answer,
You're
you're
an
being a
idiot
yeah.
or pompous.
Oh, I got
God,
one. Pair up in threes. Did you get one?
no.
Okay, everybody, pair up in threes.
What do you got?
You wouldn't have won if we'd
Yeah,
beat
I
you.
read that. Yeah.
You wouldn't have won if we'd beaten
I think
you.
that
Oh,
was
you got that
funny.
one? Man, I think I've already got the.
Oh, I love this one. I'm
I'm way
so
behind.
ugly. I never saw anyone hit with this face. Oh, God. Here's a good one. I wish everybody had the drive quotes, Joe DiMaggio had. He never did anything wrong on the field. I've never seen him die for a ball. Everything was a chest-high catch, and he never walked off the field. Eh, nothing with that. Take it with a grin of salt. A grin of salt.
A
Yeah.
grain of salt.
He's on the 19.
But even the one about what was it? Joe
Yeah, Joe
DiMaggio?
DiMaggio.
No,
Yeah,
who was it?
DiMaggio.
Well, I mean, it was the guy who got like Marilyn Monroe. It was the guy who had like it all. You know, it was just sort of the. It's
No,
almost I always see that too. You know, it's the guy that just never, you know, all the balls came right to his chest. He didn't have to, you know, that kind of thing. Not that it was Joe DiMaggio, but he's definitely. I can imagine that guy being symbolic of that. You
I
know.
wait. I know the guy's name.
Yeah, he just kind of trots up
Another
and.
Brooklyn guy. Oh, he did right. He did. Yes,
Yeah.
she did marry Joe DiMaggio. Marilyn Monroe did marry Joe
Yeah.
DiMaggio. I thought it was somebody else. Yeah. Joe DiMaggio sent
Oh,
flowers to Marilyn
yeah.
Monroe's grave every year till he died. He was so in love with her. The thing is, though, he was Italian from New York, a
Mm,
little kind of the old ways. She was more of a modern girl, and
mm-hmm.
she didn't fit into the Italian role of being a good wife. So that's why they divorced. She
Mm-hmm.
couldn't put up with that stuff from him. So
Oh,
it was a,
oh, I can imagine that. Yeah,
yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
It's, believe me, the old Italians, they had this set ways that if you didn't follow, it was a war.
Oh no, and and I can imagine that was really like we talk about New World and Old World. That would just be when, you know, this sort of different cultures are coming up, you know, that the traditional stuff is
Yeah.
just really still solid. More, you know, what I don't know what you say about that, but and you know, just new things coming
My
in. But
best friend from high school, the one that passed
anyways,
away a little over a year ago, his parents were old world. They had, I don't know if they had an arranged marriage or not, but old world Italians. And the father ran a very, very strict
hmm
household. Uh, he had three girls, one boy, Rocco, my best friend, being the only boy. So anything that was had to happen in the house came down to him. He was responsible for
hmm
everything. So when he first got his first car, he was supposed to drive the whole family around. He got a job. He was supposed to support, buy things for around the house and everything else. If he wasn't busy, he was supposed to help his father work around the house. Discipline, it was bad. So he had a strong dislike for his father
hmm
most of his life, and
Oh yeah,
he
that
grew up
yeah.
with the attitude where nobody's going to tell me what to do anymore. So that ended up being a lot of his downfall too. He didn't listen to anybody. So being told what to do all your life, you tend to rebel. You
Mm.
go in that strict opposite direction so far where you don't want to listen to anybody. So, when he got married, he didn't listen to his wife either. So he took it to an extreme.
Yeah, no, and that's that. Oh, and I worry about that with my kid, you know, like that sort of rebellious nature. If you go, I almost see that too in like some families that are maybe more, we call them like granola families, you know, the more the hip. And then one I saw, and then the daughter is like sort of the fashion
Yeah,
model, you know, sort of the opposite
yeah,
of that
yeah,
sort
yeah.
of thing, you know, the more materialistic, right? Where it's started to be anti-materialistic. This is like, so it's like how to rebel or, you know, like, come from like a really solid farm, like you just stay on the farm, the family is the
Right,
farm, the
right, right.
family is blah, 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 and then I go far away, right? So as a rebellious nature, maybe my son would be,
So
I don't know what he would be, just a
you're the black
homebody.
sheep of the family, Fraser? When you moved out, you became the black sheep?
I guess, like I went far, but in fact, my mom, she came from England. She grew up on a
Oh,
farm in
wow.
England. Again, a family farm. Wait, let me get this right. Four brothers and a sister. She was the
Obviously.
sister. And they all stayed and farmed. They all stayed and farmed, and the farm wasn't big enough, so they bought, it was okay, so they gradually bought other farms. Now they've each got their own farm in the same kind of
Wow.
county. So very family oriented, right? She goes to the other side of the
And what did she
world.
do?
She knew she wanted to do it like right from high
She
school.
wanted to be a farmer,
She knew she was going to go to
to be
Canada.
a farmer.
No, they were already
But that's
farmers.
funny.
Yeah, it was on a pig farm in
So why
England,
not stay?
but she wanted to move to
Why not stay
Canada.
in England to farm,
Why?
right?
I don't know.
I
But
would
so,
imagine. It'd
and
be a little bit warmer in
well, it
England,
was to
though.
be a farmer's wife, really. Yeah. It was more not traditional, like they just, I don't know. My
But
parents,
isn't it warmer?
they liked having each of their roles, I guess, um but what was I going to say? Oh, so she went far, but then she won't leave the farm now. She's like, he even told me she doesn't want to visit me in
Really?
Montreal. She doesn't like the
Oh,
city at
wow.
all. She'll avoid Calgary. Calgary is like a small city, right? She'll avoid that unless she absolutely, absolutely has to go. So, whereas me, it's like, no, I need at least 2 million people on a small
Yeah,
island.
yeah.
At least,
Not to
if not
Manhattan.
more.
7 million people.
So it's like, so maybe my son will rebel and move up to like the big North Pole and, in the middle
I
of
would
nowhere
imagine
somewhere.
it's easier to farm in England because it's a little bit warmer. So I was talking to this girl in Alberta, and she said it was negative 30 during the winter. Negative Celsius. Negative
Oh,
30
yeah.
Celsius, not Fahrenheit.
Yeah,
Much
yeah.
colder.
It's
Yeah.
cold. Yes. Yeah, yeah, it's super cold, but it's dry cold. No,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
wicked cold. It's cold, but it's cold all over in
I know, you
Canada,
guys are north.
except for if you're
You
in
guys are
BC
north. I
someplace.
mean, I would imagine,
Yeah.
but we talked about that before. The places closest to the
Hmm.
United States border would be warmer, but still, you're still north. North of the
Hmm.
United States is cold too.
Hmm.
Chicago.
Like most of the east, like really close to the
Yeah.
border. Alberta, you start getting further away from the border, the general population. So Calgary is like 6 hours away from the border, and Edmonton is like 8 hours away.
Yeah, this
And so we were about, I don't know, we were in
this
between
lady
there. And so we're already like in terms of latitude or altitude or
latitude, I
whatever the
think.
thing is.
Longitude is
Latitude?
this. I think latitude.
Latitude,
I'm gonna be wrong. I'll be wrong.
latitude. I said
Yeah, altitude.
altitude.
Yo, Yogi.
Altitude.
Yo,
That'll be
Yogi
another
Berra.
Yogi Berra thing. Well, I lived at the longitude and altitude of.
And I have an aptitude.
I have an aptitude for yeah, I have an aptitude
Yeah.
for geography. I came from such and such a longitude and latitude
This
attitude.
this
No,
this lady says she
anyways,
lives in Wainwright,
yeah,
Alberta. So that was negative 30. I don't know how hot the
Wainwright, yeah.
summers get. I don't think, I would imagine it'll get more than 50 degrees Fahrenheit. So I figure what
No, it's worse in the
it's
summer.
warm. It's in the summer.
No, no, no. It gets worse because the way that it turns in the summer, now we've got like full on sunlight. So the sun, I remember we would do like night parties. And the sun the sky would go, the sun would
Yeah.
go down and the sky would get like dimmer and dimmer and it would go dark for about like an hour and a half or 2 hours. And then you would start getting the morning dusk. So while the sun didn't, it was only down for like 7 hours, it was really just dark for like 2 hours in the middle of
That'd be
summer.
nice, though. I think.
So that means in the daytime, you've got like 18 hours of sun, like right on top of you. So you get up to like 30 degrees, like
Celsius?
just
Really?
killer
30
heat.
Celsius? Oh, God, that's hot.
It's weird, but then, so it's like, so you get 30 degrees Celsius. So we're talking
Yeah,
about
I
like
know.
90, 95, right?
Yeah.
And then at the nighttime, because Alberta is oh, what's going on here? So
What's
it's
going
very
on?
dry. At nighttime, all the heat just evaporates. So you get like 5 or 10 degrees at nighttime. So we're talking about like
You're talking about
35 or 40 degrees.
Wait a minute.
Then
So
it'd be
wait,
back
going
up
to
to 90
Fahrenheit.
degrees in the daytime.
So wait, going to Fahrenheit, we're going 90 during the day and something like 40 at night.
40. Yeah. It's just zoom, zoom,
Wow.
zoop, zoop.
See, I wouldn't
Whereas
mind
you
that
see,
because
like, yeah, it's just
I
weird like
wouldn't
that.
mind that because I wouldn't need my air conditioner at night when I slept. I could just keep an open
You
window.
sleep at night. That's what my parents say,
Yeah,
yeah.
so that would be. You see, if things would work out, I would move there just to be with her. But I don't think it will.
You would
Yeah,
sleep well in the night, yeah.
I would leave everything for her. But I don't know. Not for her specifically, but if I found the right person, I would leave everything for love. I would.
It would, yeah, yeah. That's it. Like you say, not, yeah, I can understand why. I can totally understand why.
Well, it's going.
But yeah, no, Alberta's
It
good.
goes
And
to the
Wainwright,
Bible too.
I think Wainwright, I don't think it's too
It
far
even
from
says in the Bible,
Calgary.
Fraser, that a man will leave his mother and cleave on to his wife.
Hmm. Oh no, the heart will
Yeah.
bring you there, and the heart will make it work.
Yeah.
It's amazing what you'll do for love. Yeah, yeah. Oh no, I know
And
that
she's
one.
got the advantage too.
You'll
Yeah,
climb
she's
over
got the
mountains.
advantage too. She's 19, I'm
Yeah.
45. I got what, 30 years left of life. By the time I drop dead, she'll be 50. She'll be ready to move on to somebody else.
You're already planning for the future. You know what we say, Yogi
Yeah.
Berra and I? You know what Yogi Berra and I say about predictions?
Yeah, right. Come. Wait, we go back.
They're really tough, especially when it's about the future.
Where do you say? Wait,
Something like that.
I'm trying to find it right now.
Oh, I gotta know that one. That one's one of my favorite. Prediction is really difficult, especially when it's about the future. Something like this, yeah.
Well,
I like this
the
though.
future
Okay, I
ain't
gotta
what it
write.
used to be.
You sent me
The
the link
future
though.
ain't what it used to be.
The future one. No, no,
Wait,
there
there
was
was
a bit.
another one?
Yeah, that one's good. No, I like that one too. That one's
There
a
was
good
another
one
one that
too.
we read. I forgot it.
That's okay. We'll pick it up. But no, I think we can pick up on those. Like you say, we don't got anything else to say for a day. We got
Oh, it's
Yoga
tough to
Bear
make. Yeah,
quotes that could
right. It's
guide us
tough to
into
make
something.
predictions, especially about the future. That's what. That was the one.
That's it. So I got the gist of it. But even if
Yeah.
you get the gist of it, the wording that he uses
Yeah,
is
it is.
gold. Like
It
he
is.
uses so few words that
He's
necessary.
my,
It's tough to make
especially about the
predictions,
future.
especially about the future.
This guy's a
That's
man
good.
after my own heart. I talk like that sometimes still.
Hmm. Oh, well, that's it. You're doing the quotes is better than me because you've got at least the accent going on. And I feel like you said he's got that New Yorker, like just that.
Let's see here.
Yeah, that's good.
I know this need to eat. If you ask me anything, I don't know what answer. Okay, and on the 1973 Mets, we were overwhelming the underdogs. Well, there you go. The towels was the
Overwhelming the
towels
underdog.
were so thick there I could hardly close my suitcase. He was stealing towels. He
That was.
just admitted to stealing towels. Here we go.
Oh,
This is
no,
great.
here's a great guy.
Little League Baseball is a very good
This
thing
is
because
good.
it keeps the parents off the streets. Oh, Mickey, Mickey
Oh, right
Mantle
on.
was a very good
That's it.
golfer, but we weren't allowed to play golf during the season, only at spring training. You don't have to swing hard to hit a home run. You gotta, if you got the timing, it'll go. I guess it's okay. I'm lucky. Usually you're dead to get your own museum, but I'm still alive to see mine. They did make a Yogi Berra museum while he was still alive. Okay. If I didn't make it in baseball, I won't have made it working. I didn't like to work. There you go. You made it didn't want to work. If the world were perfect, it wouldn't be.
Mhm.
That's great. No, that's great because of
That's good. You see, that's a life
Now
philosophy one right
I
there.
got a
That's
big
one of
thing
those
about this
philosophical.
now because what's perfect for you is not perfect for me. So even for your own mother, what's perfect for her is not perfect for you. So a
Hmm.
perfect world does not it's not for everybody. And it wouldn't be perfect.
Not for everyone. But I got into this with a friend that he came from Brazil, like the north of Brazil, where it's like between 20 and 30 degrees. So we're
Wait,
talking
oh,
between like,
is
70 and
he the
80 degrees,
Amazon?
something like this.
Like
Like
near the rainforest or something like that?
no, he's like on the north, like right near the beach. We're talking like paradise,
Yeah.
right? In terms of just like between, I don't know what a nice temperature is. What is it? Like between 75 and
Yeah,
85 or something like that.
that
Like,
yeah.
you know, nice, or 75 and 90, something like this. All year round, right? Winter is down to
Oh
75.
man.
So it's like just nice. There's always a day you go to the beach, even in the middle of winter, which is August for them, I guess.
Yes. Yeah.
So, but just to the point where it's like, hey, you guys, you want to go to the beach now? It's like, nah, we'll wait till next weekend. Whereas we calculated it in Canada, we've got like 3 months of
Yeah.
summer, say mid-June to mid-September. That's like 12 weekends.
Right.
Half of them are going to be raining, or something's going to happen.
So you got 6
That's like
now.
6. Say 5 to 10. Say 5 to 10 in the whole year out of 50. So when it comes, he says that people appreciate summer so much more here, even.
I can imagine.
That when it's a nice weekend, people cancel their plans. People just do whatever they have to do to just enjoy the weekend because there's so few of them in the year. So it's like that. Like if it was perfect all the time, you wouldn't appreciate it anymore.
Right.
You know, like even if it's just an individual, even if it's just me and my ideal of what perfect is, if I got that, it would suck.
Boring.
You know, I think that's really true. Yeah. It would be so boring.
You don't have, if everything was perfect, you wouldn't have any kind of strife to make you grow. So like this thing between my brother being sick, breaking his leg in the hospital, I know I've grown emotionally over this too. So I know I'm a stronger person than I thought I was. I didn't think I was this kind of a person, but apparently I am. And I was able to.
You are? And it just keeps pointing up. Like you say, now you've got you've got a few people saying the exact same thing. Eventually you'll understand. You're more than a 3.
Oh, I would put myself up at about 7 right now.
There you go. You see the value. Like once you see it reflected back from other people, you kind of see like, wait a second, I got something.
I have a theory that no person can be a 10, only because you have some kind of emotional or attitude problem that would bring you down just a slight notch. So you would be like a 9.9, 9.8.
Just a bit.
Like there's also another theory. Oh, I gotta put this on your timeline. There's a theory that the prettier the woman is, the more mentally unstable she is. So like you got that 9, 10 looks, but that 3 or 4. It's there's a whole video. It's called the Hot Crazy Matrix. Tell me you haven't seen it.
I think I have Hot Crazy Matrix. That rings a bell.
I'll put it on your inbox. My favorite part was this guy said, I met a girl. She's like 8, 9 hot and like 1 or 3, 4 crazy. She says, the guy says, don't be fooled. That's a tranny. That's a guy pretending to be a woman. That was my favorite. I wanted to.
It's not real. It's not real. It couldn't happen. It couldn't be a real thing. Yeah.
I'm gonna put on your timeline. The Hot Crazy Matrix. It was so funny.
This is good. No, this is a good one. Because that. Oh, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I was gonna go back to what you were saying about the 10, but it's still, you want to put your lady on a pedestal just the same. Like even though you say that,
give her a 9.
it's still. I mean, you put them up there.
Very,
You can give your one, but like 9.99 or something. Anyways, it's good to put her up there. Anyways,
I've talked to her on Facebook Messenger. We actually talked, not texted, because I think we've done on Facebook Messenger, and we talked twice for about an hour each time. She is very emotionally mature, much more mature than I would put anyone at 19. And she has a knowledge way above her years, so that's very attractive too to me. She doesn't talk, she doesn't act like a typical 19-year-old person. Especially not me at 19.
You guys are going to fit well because she has like a knowledge way above her age, and you've got a knowledge like way below your age. So you're like meeting here in the middle. Like
I knew you were going to go there.
Like this Benjamin Button thing. You're just meeting at the middle. So.
I'm emotionally immature. She's emotionally very mature.
That's it. Exactly. How immature you are. She's mature. You're immature. We're going to get...
Oh, my God. All right.
Oh, so much fun.
Oh, that's great.
No. Oh, man. That's good. So dumb. Anyways. I should probably get running, though. I got to get up in the morning to work, but...
All right.
I think we got ourselves a whole new series, Yoga Berry.
Yogi Berra. You can do it Yoga Berry. No, do it again. Yogi Berra philosophy.
Yogi Berra philosophy. Finding Yogi Berra. That's what tonight will be. I'll label it.
Finding
Finding
Yogi
Yogi
Berra.
Berra.
Secret.
Finding Yogi Berra. No, bro, leave it something like that. You find. Anyways, don't forget me. I was. Oh, what else? All right. Oh, I can't even sign off now. I guess it's me who
You
signs
can exit
off.
yourself out, but I can sign off. All right, so
Okay. What should I
I'll
say? The
say it.
thing though?
So this is Seeking Truth, finding Frank Fraser, possibly the love of my life, and Yogi Berra. And we'll catch you guys.
which were not the two same.
No,
Yogi Berra
no.
and the love of his
Yogi
life.
Berra's
Those were not
dead.
the two.
I'm not in love with Yogi Berra. I like somebody else. All right. All right. God bless, and we'll see you guys next time.